Hello and welcome to Tools to Create a Better Life with myself, Glenyce Hughes. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you. All right, so this week we are going to talk about tools to actualize more money in your business. Or if you don't have a business, tools to actualize more money in your life, because all of these tools can be used in any way, shape, or form. For the purpose of this show, we're going to talk about them from a business standpoint, but please use them everywhere. So, number one, and this one is a really interesting one. I first heard Gary and Dane and Simone and Brendan from Access Consciousness discuss it. So about a year ago there was a business class that they did online. And they talked about creations in your business that don't necessarily actualize cash. Yeah. So I know there's lots of things in my business that I've done over the years that weren't for money, or weren't not necessarily for money, but they weren't to generate money. It was more things that I was aware would contribute. So photo shoots, we could even say that, photo shoots. Now, yes, I went and used, say, those photos on my webpage or in social media and stuff like that. However, they don't linearly create money. People aren't going to pay me because I had a photo shoot. And you know what? What else is possible there that I've never even considered? How much fun would that be? But you get what I mean. There's creations that create greater, and then there's creations that are created that then we get paid for in a business. So what you want to ask with those creations that aren't generating cash is, what revenue stream can I create to support this creation? Yeah. Now, actually, I would change it a little bit. What revenue stream can support this creation? So you don't have to create the revenue stream. It's just something to be aware of. So when you're asking that, it allows you to be way more present in the business. One, with what is actually actualizing the cash, and also what is creating greater. And sometimes they're the same thing, and sometimes they're not. It also allows you to be very present with the finances. Yeah, I know that's a lot of energy on that, my sweet friends, because a lot of people don't like to be present with their finances, and that will change everything for you. So we'll actually talk about that here soon, but just know, the more you're willing to be present with your finances in your business, the more they will grow. Same with the more that you're willing to acknowledge what creations are not actualizing cash, and which ones are creating greater and which ones are doing both. Then it creates so much space and so much awareness, and then you can really be present with it. And then you're also not choosing only based on money, right? How many people, maybe you've done this yourself, I know I certainly have, over the years, where I knew it would create greater to hire somebody to do something, but the energy of like, well, if I pay it out, and if somebody's, say, editing my videos, I'm not getting paid for them to edit my videos. So there was this reality linear idea that A plus B didn't equal C, so I shouldn't do it. Instead of recognizing that having other people contribute in the business can be a huge contribution, which then takes us back to what revenue stream can support this creation. Yeah. And I've even heard Gary talk about actually asking the people in the business to say, hey, what revenue streams could you create that would support you being here? Yeah, like what a totally different way to look at it. Now, I don't mean asking that from the place of now you must figure out how to pay for yourself. It's not that, but it just opens up the door to a whole other possibility. And he was speaking about it more from if you brought in interns and say they worked for 3 months to learn the skills. And then it was going to possibly move into a paid position, then you can ask them, you know, hey, what revenue streams could create you staying? How much fun is that? But you can also ask that of anybody in the business, just for fun. Not, again, from the linear of you have to pay for yourself. It's not that at all. Because I have Erica, you guys have heard me talk about her. She's magical, amazing. I am so incredibly grateful for her. We just had our year anniversary. I should maybe call it a play-anniversary together. And I'm so grateful. And she creates so much in my business. And nobody has paid me yet for her being here. And yet, her being here has paid billions and billions and billions of ways. So it's really not going into the linear of anything in the business, not going, well, if I'm going to buy that, I don't know, maybe you want to make t-shirts. And so you would buy a press to make those t-shirts and going, okay, well, I need to print off 100 t-shirts to pay for it. Like, if you get it's going to create. If you get that it's expansive, if you get that the business is going to be greater with it, then the question is, what revenue stream can support this creation? Anything that doesn't allow you to be that question. Now, I know if you're new around here, that might sound funny to you. We might say ask that question, but it is more than just asking. It's actually being that question too. Yeah, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, 𝗿𝗲𝗰𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲𝗏. So that is the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. You can go to theclearingstatement.com for more about how it works. Just know that it works like a magic wand. So as we talk about these things, and you might go into, well, that's impossible, or that can't happen, or I could never hire somebody, or any of that insanity, we clear that energy so that something else might be possible. So another tool would be to ask, what can I create that is so easy and fun for me to create that would allow me to actualize a fortune? Yes. Now that is inspired from the Advanced How to Become Money workbook. We're just almost finished up. We just are doing a 9-day program with it. If you are interested in the How to Become Money workbook or the Advanced How to Become Money workbook, get on my list if you're not there already, because I do those programs about twice a year, sometimes maybe even 3, because they're so potent. But this question is inspired from that chapter or from that book because Gary talks in it about being so willing to recognize that money, cash, wealth, whatever you want to call it, can be total ease. And chances are, if you're willing to do the things that are easy and fun for you, you will make way more money than if you are trying to do the struggle and the hard and work hard for money and all of that insanity. So this question of what can I create that is so easy and fun for me to create, that if I would create it, would allow me to actualize a fortune. Now, how the heck do you use that? You just ask it. Maybe you want to set a reminder app on your phone or something so that you can start asking that question and allow the universe to deliver you the awareness. It's not about sitting down with a pen and paper and figuring out the answer to that question. Please don't do that. That will not get you anywhere. It truly is just asking it and allowing the awarenesses to show up. Because there are things that we do, each one of us individually does with so much ease that we don't see it as any great gift. We don't see it as any big thing, to be honest. We're just like, well, everybody can do that. Here's the secret. It's not true. Not everybody can do that. I had no idea that not everybody could get on a video or get on a podcast and just talk. I honestly had no idea. I just assumed everybody could do that. Nope. Now, I do not find it easy to sit down and write. So for me, the talking is so much more ease, and just talking with the energy that comes up, not thinking about it, not trying to figure it out, but just speaking and knowing that whatever comes out of my mouth is what's creating greater. Whereas there's people who actually can do that with writing. So it's just knowing that there's things for you that are so easy, but you don't let yourself, for the most part, be paid for them because you've assumed everybody can do it. So for a long time, I didn't allow myself to be paid. Now, we could say also the radio show is another one of those creations that I don't linearly get paid for. Yeah, and totally, it also is a huge contribution to people getting a sense of how I be, what I offer, and then they make choices on classes or not classes with me or sessions or whatever. So it totally creates, absolutely. And so with that, like when you look at that, it's just the asking of it and letting it go, and then whatever comes up, just whatever comes up. And just start looking at, okay, so let's say you're like me and you get that talking is one of those things that is super easy and fun for you to do. Then, okay, universe, how can I get paid to talk? And maybe it's different than just talking. How can I get paid to share stories? How can I get paid to inspire people? Like whatever it is. Or maybe you get that being with horses is so easy for you and so fun for you. Universe, how can I get paid to be with the horses? Like, show me what else is possible that I've never even considered. Yeah, it's just opening it up. So if you are in business already, you could also be adding more things. Like, what else would you like to add that would be so fun for you and so easy for you? Yeah, most of the time we're doing it for free. That's often what's occurring before we acknowledge that it's something that we could be paid for. Or I could even reword that. Before we're willing to be paid for it, it's something we do for free. We would even, once we're in business, we would do it for free. We love it so much. So what would it take for you to be aware of what is so easy and so fun for you that if you would choose it, would actualize a fortune for you? Yeah, anything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Now, I would like to invite you to an amazing second round of From Idea to Offer. Some of you might remember this. I offered it in June. It was amazing, where it's a 5-part program where we go through step 1 is all about how to commune with your business. Step 2 is about creating the invitations. So from idea to offer. So you have an idea for a class or a creation, and it's like from idea, all the steps to actually the offer. So step 2 is all about invitations. Step 3 is graphic. So we've got 10 different graphic templates, and each 10 of those have all the different sizes. So like Facebook post size, video, Instagram size, like all the pieces. And then step 5 is about sharing your class. And then step 6 is tools to add magic to your class or creation, whatever you want to call it. And so I ran this in June, and we're going to run it again starting in October 26th. So if you would like to come and play, I would love to have you. You'll find the link. Also to note that the price increase, once this round is complete, the price increase will be $100. So you want to get in now. And I also have, if you kind of want to get a sense of this, I have a free private podcast to get your idea for your creations. Because I know a lot of people would love to do this, but how do they get their idea? So I've got a free private podcast. Now let me just take a moment to explain the private podcast piece, because I've got a few of them out there. They are on the same podcast app that you listen to. You do not need to download anything. You are not giving permission to anybody to access your stuff. I've had all sorts of interesting emails about these guys. Please know, it's no different than the way you listen to your podcast regularly, except it's hidden, which means not everybody can access it. So when I upload this onto the podcast app that I use, anybody with a podcast app can listen to it. The hidden ones, the private ones, it just means they're behind a closed door. And by you opting in, you receive the code to open the door, so to speak. So just so we're clear on that. So if you'd like that, we'll also have the link somewhere here too. If you can't find these links, just message me and I will get them for you. All right. Step number 3. tool number 3, and these tools, please know, are in no way, shape, or form in order. There's no way to do this. These are just some tools that popped up when I was looking at the energy of what this podcast and video desired to be. So number 3, ask this. To actualize more money in your business, ask this every day, all day. What can I be and do different today to actualize more money right away? What can I be and do different today to actualize more money right away? Now, you could also change that. Actualize more cash right away, actualize more paying clients right away. Like, it doesn't matter what you can end it with anything. But what can I be and do different today to actualize more blah, blah, blah right away? And same as the other questions, let it go. And then those possibilities will show up. You'll suddenly be aware of something you could choose, something you could do, something you could be, and you might not even be aware of it cognitively. But by asking that question throughout the day, you will just choose to be it because you've asked for it. This is the magic. You've asked for it, so you're going to receive it. It's just that often we don't ask that question. What we do is we conclude and we say, oh, I would like more money, so I must do A, B, C, or D. Doesn't work, my friends. How do I know? Because there's been many times where I've done that. It's like, oh, okay, I would like to have more cash right now, so I'm going to do this thing, and then it doesn't work. Now, what can I be or do different today to actualize more whatever right away? And that will get so much more energy going and so many more possibilities showing up. Now, the next tool is somewhat like that and totally different. But what can I add to my life today to actualize more money right away? Yeah. What can I add to my life today? So often we are taught in this reality to subtract. So if you want to have more money, you must budget. You must stop spending the money to have more money. And that often doesn't work for us, guys. If you're listening to this radio show, chances are that doesn't work for you. The question instead is, what could I create to actualize this right away? Or the one we said before, what can I be or do different to pay for this right away, rather than trying to subtract? So that's where this question, what can I add to my life today, changes everything for you, because it's about adding. And that's what's actually natural for us, not subtracting. So the more that you're willing to add, the more magic that you will be. And the more we have on the go, the more ease it is for money and wealth and cash and fortune to show up, because we're not focused on one thing. So even if you have a business that only offers one thing, there's probably many different pieces that you could be playing with. You don't have to just play with the one thing. It's like, might be a radio show to invite people to that thing. There might be a video to invite people to that thing. There might be a Facebook Live to invite people to that. Like, there's so many other pieces to it. So adding to your life. And also, don't do the logical of, what can I add to my life today to actualize more money right away, that it has to be money related what you're adding. It doesn't. Remember those creations we talked about when in number 1? There's a lot of creations that are going to contribute so much to your business, so much to your finances, so much, so much, without it being the actual cash generating thing. Yeah. So don't conclude, just choose. There we go. Don't conclude, just choose. I love it. All right, now, tool number 4, and I'm going to invite you not to stop listening. Maybe I should tell you to stop listening now. And I joke about it because it took me many, many years before I would even consider this. Set up a 10% account for your business. If you're still here, I'll keep talking. I know. It's really funny that we do this. Now, the 10% account is something we talk about in Access, and it's also in a billion other books out there to do with finances, because it's something that you can contribute to you and your life and your living so that can contribute so much to you having money. So I have a radio show from 100 years ago about a 10% account. So we'll link that here somewhere if you'd like to listen to it. But basically it's about taking 10% of everything that comes in and putting it in separate account for you, or under your bed in a sock drawer, or whatever you want to do with it, except that you want to make sure that it's going to either stay as is or increase. So you don't want to buy a house with it, you don't want to buy stocks with it, you don't want to buy a car with it. Those are things that that are going to cost you money, or a potential of not having the amount of money you would like in it. So you want to just, for me, I kept it as cash for many years until the first thing that I ever bought with it was this beautiful ring. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. So that was the first thing that I bought with it. But I didn't choose that until I had enough money in my 10% account that I felt like I had money. So this is kind of something you want to do. If you're just starting this out, you may just want to just put it away, do something like put it in an account or in your drawer or whatever, and just put it away. Just allow it to accumulate. Now, this is specifically, of course, about business. So if you are doing it personally and you have a business, what if you start doing it for each? Now, when I very first started a 10% account, I was running my business as a sole proprietor, which meant all the money that came in went into the bank account, and then from the bank account, all the bills were paid. Now, 5 years ago, I believe, I incorporated as a business, which means all the business money comes into the business account, and then I pay hubby and I wages from that. So hubby and I are employees of the company. So it's so much more ease to do now because there is a difference between the business money and the personal money. So the personal money goes over here, has a personal 10% account, and then the business account has it's money that sits here, and then also has a 10% account. Mine is 15%. So the other thing that I highly recommend, and this might work for personal too, but for business specifically, is the book called Profit First. His first name is Mike, and his second name, I believe, is Ukrainian, so it's very long and I never remember it. But if you just type in Profit First, you will find it with ease. And it is such a brilliant book. And it's basically about taking different, having different accounts in your bank account, so that you've got a wages account, and you've got an operating expense account, you've got a taxes account, you've got a main account, so all the money comes into the main account, and then each time money comes in, or each week or month, however you want to do it, you then put percentages of that amount into those other accounts, and then the profit account. And it's such a gift. It's such a gift. And I know I can't think of a radio show specifically, but I do have one video that we'll link here to also. It's the toothpaste analogy that Mike uses in his book, and it's what really inspired me. So if that's something you would like to do, and you don't have to do 15% profit, you can do 10%, you can keep it at 10%, and maybe it's just a baby step. So maybe you want to do 5% or 2%, like just do something so that you're creating towards this. Because once you start it, it's amazing the magic it can create just by you being willing to be present with it, and you being willing to know that you are the source of the money in the business, you are the source of the money in your life. So if you are putting 10% into a different account, you'll still have enough over here because you're the source. But often we go, well, this is all I have, and I should pay off my debt first. I should pay off this first. I better hoard it. I better keep it. I might lose it, like all that. Yeah. What if we let that go and we acknowledged us as the source? And we know that by putting this, whatever, 2%, 5%, 10%, 20% even over here, that we are going to actualize even more here to be able to do it all with ease. So anything that doesn't allow that to show up as if by magic we destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And so depending on when you are listening to this, I do have on coming up a call called Questions to Increase the Cash Flow in Your Business. If you're listening later, the recordings will always be available, and you can check it out. We'll have a link somewhere for that too. If you would like to join us or to get the recording after, yeah, because much like these questions, there are questions that you can ask to increase and exponentialize the cash flow in your business. Yes. All right, guys, have a fabulous week, and I look forward to playing again next week.